I just got off my 17th free cruise on Royal Caribbean, but how much did it really cost me? I've been on 19 cruises on Royal Caribbean, and the last 17 of those have been free. Not exactly free, comped fares through the Club Royale casino program, but of course, they are entirely free. By the way, my comp pipeline is overflowing right now. I have 14 offers just sitting in my queue waiting to be used. I did a video a few weeks back about how inventory is rising, available inventory due to things like the recession and new ships coming online. If you want to check that out, I'm going to link it in the description for you. This last cruise was a 4-night on Freedom of the Seas, one of my favorite ships out of Miami. And I've also started my journey to Prime for 2026. Prime, of course, gets you a tier credit cruise, free drinks around the ship, and other perks as well. My last video last week on my channel was about how I did in the casino and how many points I earned towards Prime for 2026. Now, even though this fare was comped and I got $50 worth of free play, there are a lot of costs associated with cruising that aren't included in these offers. So I wanted to give you an overview, like I have in previous videos, of exactly how much it cost me to take this comped cruise. With all that said, let's get into it. All right, we start where we always do, pre-cruise before we get on the ship. My port fees and taxes were $130.06. They were a bit higher, they were closer to $140, but we didn't get a chance to actually go to Coco Cay. The weather was too bad, so they deducted that from my total. Voom internet for the cruise, $71.96, that's for one device. Daily gratuities, prepaid at $18.50 a day, $74. Total pre-cruise, $276.02. Getting to the ship. Gas and tolls, $120. Parking, $140. It's insane. It was $35 a day to park at the Port of Miami. Ever since I've been cruising in Miami for the last 4 years, it's gone up every time I've gone to this port. As a matter of fact, I think it was about $20 when I started cruising, and it's already up to like $35, almost double 4 years later. I'm definitely going to avoid cruising out of Miami going forward for a couple of reasons. Number one, obviously the gas and the tolls, it takes me almost 5 hours to get there, 5 hours to get back. It's quite a haul. And there's lots of great options out of like Port Canaveral and here in Tampa as well. Grand total for travel, $260. All right, on board. Gambling. I did very well in the casino. I actually ended up netting $565 from the casino. You can see how I did in the casino in my previous video. My folio balance was $105.55. That's all the incidentals that you do, like room service, anything you buy in the shops, any drinks or tips that you put on your bills, all that kind of stuff. Cash tips I brought on board, $100. I had an onboard credit that was applied before I sailed, and that was points redemption from my Royal Caribbean credit card. So my grand total on board was negative $459.45. Let's go to the grand total. Pre-cruise, I spent $276.02. It cost me $260 to travel and park. And on board, like I said, I actually walked out with $459.45. The grand total, $76.57 for a 4-night on Freedom of the Seas. So let's look at the by-day breakdown. $19.14 per day it cost me to sail. And if we take the casino out of the equation, it was $160.39, which isn't too bad for free food, great entertainment, visiting ports, gambling, being on a ship, good times. So there you go. That gives you a pretty good idea of what you're going to actually spend when you're redeeming these comps. I have these for a lot of different Royal Caribbean ships, as well as Carnival, Princess, and some other brands as well. They're all on my Cruising in the Casino video series on my YouTube channel. Make sure you check them out. Coming up next week on the Freedom of the Seas series, it's 3 slots I recommend you play and slots I think you should avoid if you're trying to be like me and cruise for a lot less, leveraging casino comps from Club Royale. If you're just getting started with this and you want tips on how to actually save money while you're gambling and not blowing the bank and making these comps very expensive, check out my other videos on the channel. There's lots of good stuff in there as well. If you're not subscribed yet and you like my content, please consider doing that. If you like the video, click the like button, and of course, click the notification bell if you want to know when next week's video is out. Thank you so much for watching.